Well, probably people are starting to change their expectations based on the minutes that were released yesterday of the July 30th meeting, because it emphasized the fact that almost all of the members of the Open Market Committee, except for Chris Waller and McKee were more focused on inflation than they were on the labor market. Now, that was before we got the bad revision to the July payroll report. But if we get another payroll report that's similar, even if we're not getting a lot of hiring, but the unemployment rate stays low, then the focus really does stay on inflation. So it'll be interesting to see what Powell emphasizes tomorrow. Because today, of course, we got the Walmart news that was mixed in terms of earnings, but they did say prices are going up because of tariffs. And then we saw the Philadelphia Fed index prices paid rise significantly. So we are seeing some inflation effects out there in the economy. And if Powell leans towards inflation, then maybe the heavy lean in the markets towards a rate cut in September backs off a little.
Hey, Mike, as far as what is the market betting that Powell will say versus in reality what we will likely hear him end up saying?
Well, right now, when you look at the WIRP function on the terminal, you see we're in the 80% range, 80 and higher, depending on the headlines of the moment, that people think that the Fed will cut rates once, 25 basis points. The 50 basis points has probably gone out the window. But as I say, there are probably going to be some people reconsidering after what we got yesterday in the minutes. And then, of course, you read about the options trade on the 50 basis point cut. I think if you're holding those options, you're probably sitting there thinking now that we're probably they're probably going to expire without hitting the mark.
Hey, Mike, we do have some dissent on this FOMC. Talk to us about that historically. Should we care? When does it become problematic? How should we think about that?
There's a lot going on. It's not necessarily problematic for a while. You'd have to have a significant turnover at the Open Market Committee to have anybody really be concerned. There is what we've called the tinfoil hat conspiracy theory, but it's a little bit less of that than it was, that because the Board of Governors has the power over the Fed presidents, they can dismiss them at will, that maybe Trump could take control of the entire FOMC. But that would be very difficult to do, because I don't think Chris Waller and maybe not McKee would even go along with that. So Trump just getting a majority on the board doesn't mean a significant change in policy. Also, I think our friends down on Wall Street would have a conniption fit over something like that, and that might cause the president to back off. What he may get out of it is more people on the board who are more inclined to lower interest rates. But once you get in there, you are very afraid of inflation, and I think that culture will hold for a while.
Mike, are there other members on the board beyond McKee and Chris Waller that you think potentially could also be a dissent voter at that September decision?
I don't think we'll have any other dissents unless you get a Stephen Myron world record confirmation from the Senate and get him in there by September 17th. Pretty much what we've heard from everybody is even the ones who are looking to the possibility of September based on the data, if the data suggests that there's no cut in the offing because inflation is rising, those people aren't going to dissent. They may withhold votes, they may vote with the group, but anticipate that they will cut rates in the future. But I don't think we'll get more than 2 dissents unless Myron is added to the cast.
Mike, what's the latest scuttlebutt out there in Jackson Hole about President Trump's campaign to oust Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook?
Well, there's nothing really new overnight. Cook put out her statement at the end of the day yesterday saying she will not be bullied into resigning. And she noted that she is gathering all the documents necessary. So unless the president tweets something again, and we're all keeping our eyes on his Truth Social account, it probably gets moved off to the side for a while until we get some more information. The FHA director has gone after Senator Adam Schiff and the head, the Attorney General for New York State, Letitia James, and we haven't heard much about that lately. The charges are out there. The Justice Department is either looking into them or not. They don't comment. And until we get something new, it probably fades some.